realized I don't have patience for that. I'm really excited about building it. Let's get back to the building plan. Fuck it, I'll just start building it.
Okay, that was the CEO of a tool called Freemius. Think of them like a competitor to Stripe.
I realized that the core product didn't change. It was something that I built in 2 weekends of my spare time. But when it comes to actually turning that into a business, it's like way more time consuming, more complex, requires tons of integrations.
Over the next 8 minutes, he's gonna show you exactly how to grow your YouTube just as fast as he did.
We managed to grow our subscribers from 5K to over 100K in 30 days.
Number 2, he's gonna show you a simple pricing change he made that doubled his revenue.
Yeah, we're thinking to take 30%, and we also improved the pricing, reduced it significantly later on.
And number 3, he's gonna show you a copy and paste way to get 200 RSVPs to your next webinar.
I think 200 signups.
All right, let's jump into the episode.
Hey folks, my guest today is Vova Feldman. He's the founder and CEO of Freemius, we love profits, a profitable bootstrap SaaS company helping thousands of software makers sell globally with subscriptions, payments, and tax automation. He's a developer turned founder and built the business to remove the operational hassles so makers can focus on building products, not managing billing or compliance. Vova, you ready to take us to the top?
I do. Yeah, I had so I'm a serial entrepreneur maker. I was always actually on the technical side of things, the CTO. And after my previous startup was acquired, I was kind of looking what I want to do next. And I had this side micro SaaS that was like completely free. And I decided, let's see if we can, turn that into a business. And I joined.
Which one was it, by the way? Sorry, which one exited? So Senix exited and Rating Widget was the SaaS?
Exactly.
Okay.
You got it right.
Did you get really, I mean, people are going to want me to ask this, right? Did you get really rich on this acquisition, or was it like an acqui-hire, or was it a meaningful lifetime financial event for you?
It was a life-changing event.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, and how long were you building that? So just 2.5 years, basically. Was that one bootstrapped?
It was more than that. Like we went through some, pivots and iterations. We did raise money, not a lot, but we did raise money.
Okay, cool. Great. So then you get involved with the Techstars program, a great program. Looks like you're still involved. Are you based in Tel Aviv today?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So sorry, I cut you off, but you mentioned the side project Rating Widget. Is this where you experienced the pain of merchant of record?
Exactly. I mean, I was not thinking merchant of record. For me, I joined like with 2 guys and we turned that into a commercial solution. It took us about a year. We started to make money, selling, subscriptions, withdrawing salaries, everything was great. But what we're like, really, that was the aha moment. I realized that the core product didn't change. It was something that I built in 2 weekends of my spare time. So that was kind of this, realization that building for developers is relatively easy. But when it comes to actually turning that into a business, it's like way more time consuming, more complex, requires tons of integrations, etc. And okay, there's a big problem. Let's solve that. That's kind of the origin of Freemius.
And how did you, what did like day one of Freemius look like? And the reason I'm asking you is, people, I had Fabian on the show, who's now building Odoo, right? I had him on when he was way smaller than he is today, but he launched because he contributed hardcore to the ERP open source movement on GitHub, like way back in the day. Now he's doing 700 million of ARR. We just read about Anton with GPT engineer at Lovable, right? 50,000 GitHub stars, right, on his open source project in a weekend. What were you doing back, in September of 2014 to get the first 100 users of Freemius?
So the first thing that I've done before building anything is try to go and raise money. So I went through the entrepreneurial journey. I went through Techstars Boston, another accelerator. So I went to sell the dream, and I was also thinking to find a business partner because I was always like the technical one. And I did raise from a little money from angels in the Boston area, but it was hard for me to figure out how do I find like a co-founder because I already had like clarity in terms of the vision and where I want to take that. And also the whole kind of fundraising didn't go in the direction I wanted. So, okay, I said, fuck it, I'll just start building it. So this is how it started. And frankly, it took a lot of time to find the first customer because naturally like our solution is basically, you bring your entire business into the platform. So before you have any case studies, any credibility, any proof, it's like, a hard thing to swallow for someone. So it took about a year to get that first customer.
From first line of code to first customer took a year.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now, people are going to be wondering, wait, Nathan, Vova just told you he got pretty wealthy on his exit. Why did he waste a bunch of time trying to raise capital for this idea?
Because why should I invest my capital?
Mm-hmm. Well, your premium is time, though, right? So I guess what was your thought process there, right? If you said that the fundraising process was frustrating, why not just say, screw it, I don't need fundraising right now, I have my own money. Let me just get a first customer. Like, how did you balance basically your own money versus the time you spent on fundraising?
Yeah, I mean, it was like I had that cushion that I didn't have to like take. I took very little money to myself, just for the operation going, I would say. And I didn't invest like too much time into fundraising. I went to San Francisco for about a month. Then I was in Boston area for about a month, and that's kind of concluded. I realized I don't have patience for that. I'm really excited about building it. Let's get back to the building plan. And like I said, I did have a little like runway from like a few angels. So that was enough. And because the business itself, it's like by definition, it's a revenue share. So it's like profitable once you actually start getting those customers. So that was enough.
Even on day one in September 2014, 2015, your model, your pricing page on that day basically said, hey, use us to help process payments. We'll take a small percent of your sales. It was always a percent of GMV.
So it was always a percentage. The business model was wrong in the beginning. It was too high of a percentage because we didn't have like a proper point of reference back then. And the closest that we seen it was actually marketplaces. So we got it too high, the numbers, and we also improved the pricing, reduced it significantly later on. But that was also a learning experience because you don't really have customers, but you do want to kind of understand what's happening with the pricing. So yeah, hope it answers the question.
Can you quantify that when you say it was too much percent in the early days? What percent were you charging back then?
Yeah, we're thinking to take 30%. That was the thing.
So
like the app store model,
Yeah. And then obviously that, when I think about like Stripe, takes 2, 3, 4% today, depending on where you're at, Paddle takes,
right.
1, 2, 3, 4% today too. I imagine you're probably somewhere down in that range now today, right? How did the pricing strategy evolve over time?
Yeah, so we reduced it after about a year or something like that. We, instead of taking 30%, first of all, we separate ourselves from the gateway fees, and we change our pricing that there's our margin plus gateway fees. Why? Because we started to notice that PayPal and all the credit card companies, they keep changing their pricing, and we can't keep changing our pricing to sustain the same margins that we want. So that was one thing. The second, we broke it down into gradual price that reduced over time based on the volumes. So eventually, after you cross $5,000 in sales in lifetime, not monthly or something like that, it's 7%. So we've been running, we're taking a little more on the first $1,000, and then from 1 to 5, it was like lower tier. And that was our way to kind of get, the return on investment, because usually in the beginning, it was significantly more time consuming, walkthroughs, integration questions. The support load is significantly higher, and we don't charge any setup fees or something like that. So that was our way to get it back. And recently we lowered it completely. We also, for many years, we were focused on the WordPress ecosystem. And only 2 years ago, we kind of expanded into greater software with a focus on SaaS and desktop apps. So we went through a mega process and still going in the company itself. And we changed our pricing. So the base price now is 4.7%, right? Which is competitive with the market standards. And then if you want the complete WordPress solution, which is a very everything you get, because for 8 years that was our focus, then you add 2.3% more. And there are no those gradual steps, we remove them. So the base is 4.7. And also we introduce transparent growth pricing, which is, we're the only one right now that doing that in the market. So our business model by definition creates the situation when we have that interest in the success of the makers on our platform, because it's a revenue share model. So the more successful they are, the more successful we are. So we're strategically constantly trying to help them in different ways to succeed. But there is this one point that fixed pricing can't really scale when it comes to revenue share. right? Because at a certain point you make more, you have to pay more, and the buy versus, build equation stop making sense. So usually what happens, you trigger this interaction with your payment provider and say, oh, I want better rates, I'm processing high volumes, and then you get into this like exhausting negotiation process, which is distracting you from the focus of the business. You don't know what is the outcome, etc. So we decided to eliminate that hassle and introduce this transparent pricing, where the more you make, the less you pay. So you're no longer penalized by your growth, and you can know exactly how much you will pay at any volumes, basically giving you the peace of mind that I don't need to deal with those negotiations.
So Vova, let's. I want to create space for where the pricing is to stay, but I want to go back. There's a lot to unpack there. That was really good stuff. Let me just ask a couple quick questions. So obviously, your main growth metric is dollars of revenue that your customers are putting through the platform on a daily, weekly, monthly, GMV. Annual basis. Yeah. What was the GMV exactly in 2024? What was total GMV through the platform?
So I will give you some rough numbers, right? So we have over 2,000 products on the platform, and the range of how they make is from hundreds of dollars per month to hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I prefer not to share the exact numbers, but you can, roughly guesstimate what would that mean.
Well, can you give me some range, I guess, for GMV through the platform last year? You can be as broad of a range as you want, depending on how vague you want to stay.
Yeah, tens of millions.
Okay, tens of millions. So more than 10 million, but under 100 million of GMV.
Right.
Okay, got it. What do you think you can break 100 million of GMV this year, or will that take a couple more years?
I think right now we decided to pause with a focus on revenue, because we're in expansion mode. So we have to refocus, make a lot of changes. So it naturally shift the focus from revenue to that expansion. But definitely, the SaaS market is huge. What's happening right now with AI, pretty much the SaaS space is exploding. So the market is definitely big enough. And we hope that with all those changes that we're making, getting into this bigger ecosystem, yeah.
Okay. And then using the smallest percent, right? Because you said they could be 4.7%, but if they add on, they can go up to another 2.3%. But if we just use 4.7%, right, percent on the minimum you just told, right, 10 million of GMV, but you're doing more than that. We could multiply those together. That'd be about $470,000 per year in revenue, right? Using that math.
Right. Using that math, yes.
Okay. Yeah. And then on the high side of that, if we take it all the way up to the high side of your range, right, 90 million, 100 million of GMV, which you're not there yet, but maybe in the next couple of years, that times the 4.7% would be about 4.2 million per year in revenue. Is that math all check out?
4.7. But yeah.
4.7. Great.
You said 100 million, right? So
well, I did 90 million times 4.7.
90. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Because I figured if you were above 100 million, you would say we're in the 9 figures of GMV, right? Instead of in the tens of, right? So there's different ways. The reason I'm bringing all that back is because you've done something rare. In the intro you sent over to me, you said you were, quote, profitable and bootstrapped, right? So how do you think about the profits you're generating each month? How much to reinvest in the business versus to take out personally? How do you think about that?
So I'm running the company as a startup. I'm trying to reinvest everything in the business. We're not we want to hire faster, but we're just busy with so many things. And we also, our approach is focusing on getting A players, and that takes time to find them. This is something that I found as game changer for the business once I shifted my mindset to just getting great people and not compromising on that.
And what's the team size today, full time?
We're 20.
20. Okay. And interesting. The other thing I want to unpack before we again get to your pricing model today, because you glossed over this, but it's really important. I'm going to share a screen here and go back. Hopefully this doesn't embarrass you. This is your 2018 website.
Not embarrassing. From way, that's part of the
from way back machine. And guys, a lot of people when they launch companies, you're seeing this right now in the AI space. People are saying, "Oh, it's a new AI note-taking tool. It's a new CRM tool." Right? It's very broad, right? But if you look at Peter Thiel's 0 to 1, you just study business success stories. It always starts off as a very defined, some might say small market that you can monopolize and then sort of scale from there. So Vova, the web, the content on your site is basically, look, we're not just merchant of record. No, it's specifically revenue. Sell plugins from within the WP admin dashboard. That's a pretty darn specific market.
Yep.
Down here in the bottom left, you have obviously plugins of your own company using the platform as additional social proof. When did you make the decision to broaden the market? I think you said you did it maybe last year. You moved outside of just WordPress, but how long did you stay just in that ecosystem?
Yeah, so the plan from the get-go was to expand to other ecosystems. We just wanted, to feel that we're in the right moment and the timing and everything. And it happened 2 years ago. There are like a bunch of things that just happened at the same time, including hiring a head of brand, including things that happen in the WordPress ecosystem, the explosion of AI and SaaS apps. So all of that kind of came together, and we started that repositioning process, rebranding, all those things basically.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about how you're driving growth, right? How you're getting new customers today. What's your top 1 or 2 growth channels, or what are your top 1 or 2 growth channels?
Yeah, so for many years we focused on content marketing. That was the main kind of channel for us. So it's like product-led growth. It's a completely self-serve solution. But we noticed
I'm just showing
that,
your SEO. I'm just showing your SEO backend to
no
support
problem.
when you say content, right? So when you say content, are you meaning like blog articles or programmatic SEO?
So we're talking about blog, we're talking about YouTube, we're talking about podcast, newsletter, like every piece of content. We really believed in educational content, talking about the business side of selling software.
Where is that though? Right in the blog here, though, I'm not seeing any individual blog getting more than 50, 70 organic clicks per month. I just want to make sure I'm capturing what you're talking about. Is this what you're talking about when you say blog?
It's kind of small to me, but I'm assuming yes, because it's part of the blog.
Yeah, but are these your most popular articles? I mean, this one's getting 70 organic clicks per month. I imagine that's not your top growth channel, right?
So what I was starting to saying is that with AI, we noticed like a meaningful shift. We lost a lot of traffic and we started to do other activities. So we shifted more into like bottom of the funnel, closer to the conversion content, started to experiment with paid, started to push paid on YouTube, and also working with communities and trying to basically get the word out in through channels that have obviously a lot of our target audience basically, and this is what it's like working better for us right now. We still didn't solve that, we're still looking on what will actually work for us, but mostly that was content marketing for many years, and we're still heavily invested in content. Yeah,
this is a lot of, can you tell me more about your YouTube strategy? This is a lot of YouTube subscribers for a B2B software brand. And the videos down here, some of them crush it, do 947,000 views 4 weeks ago. Some of them just flop, right? 202 views from 2 months ago. Have you been able to pinpoint the difference between a $1 million view video and a 200 view video?
Yeah, so the whole YouTube thing is super interesting. We invested many years in YouTube, and we got to around 5,000 subscribers. And then when we started to, and like every video, it was like educational, and we spent a lot of resources, like thousands of dollars, but it was not getting like enough attention. And we were kind of in this crossroad of like, should we stop our video operation, And then we decided, let's try to promote it through YouTube, and we saw amazing results. So we basically started to promote top of the funnel videos in order to increase our subscribers. So when we release videos, right, it will get higher, basically building our own distribution channel. And it worked exceptionally well. So we managed to grow our subscribers from 5K to over 100K in 30 days.
So Vova, just to be clear, sorry, when you say promoting like this one right here, right, 947, you're saying use YouTube ads on this, or how did you promote this?
Yeah. So there's the native YouTube promotion option. So I actually documented the entire thing on my X account. It was like building a public thingy. This specific video, what you're watching right now, it's like a promo for a webinar that we did, that we promoted, obviously. But for us, it's like working very well when we showing the results.
But how do people get from this though to the webinar? Because if I go here, I was seeing 947K views, like holy crap, that's a lot. I was expecting to see like a lot of thumbs up and a lot of comments, but now I'm seeing none, and now I feel more negative about the content.
Yeah. So when you promote on YouTube, you basically put like a target action, and when it shows up on mobile on the side feed, YouTube is actually adding the call to action as a standalone button next to it, which is amazing. So actually the ROI is really good on YouTube.
Okay, but you're sending them to basically a landing page for a webinar sign up.
Correct.
I see. Okay, so are you comfortable sharing, like, how much do you spend on a video like this to promote it? Like $1,000 or like, $10,000?
It was less than that. I think I can check the data, but I think it was around $300, something like that.
Wow. Okay, so that's pretty good. And you're basically saying, man, $300 to get how many people registered for that webinar?
We had I think 200 signups from YouTube.
I mean, that feels like an amazing. That's a pretty cheap registration. $1.10 basically.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Okay, so content, YouTube, and I cut you off when you said something really good. You said we went from 5K subs to 100K subs in 30 days. Was that just from promoting a lot of the videos like you just said, or was that something else?
Yes, like we strategically selected top of the funnel videos, like the marketing funnel, and videos that from the first place, we created them in order to drive our, target a bigger audience. So when we promoted them, like the marketing funnel, the one that you're seeing here, right? So this one, I think, drove a lot of the subscribers from there, and also likes and a lot of engagement. So yeah,
and is that because really when you launched this as an ad, you selected as the action you wanted YouTube to drive you? You selected get us more subscribers. Is that why this one had so many subscribers? Correct. I see.
And they put literally a subscribe button as the main call to action. So let's say someone starts watching it, right? Even if it's interesting, but they don't have the time to complete it, the button is there. So, okay, I'll subscribe, and watch it later.
Yep. Do you now, when you post like a new video without promotion, and it gets like, isn't YouTube sort of incentivized, if they know you're willing to pay, aren't they incentivized to then when you post something organic for free to give you like no views to get you to click that paid button? You see what I'm saying? Like, what's the value of the new subscribers that you've gotten from YouTube? Will they watch in the future without you having to pay for ads?
Yeah, so I think following the results, what we've seen, it doesn't make sense not to promote videos. Because you promote videos, I don't know, you put even $50, which if you think about a budget of, I don't know, $2,000 per video, like $50 is neglectable, and you're getting like 10x better results by promoting it, right? So it's just kind of stupid not to do that in those budgets.
Yep. And we're in your Mr. Beast, his app he created for tracking YouTube growth. It's called View Stats here, but we can sort of see some of the history in terms of your views.
You can see exactly that campaign that we ran, in order to increase the subscribers. So, yeah.
Yep. And if we go max though, full time, this is where you're saying that campaign launch where you got like this is probably when you got a lot of subscribers quickly, right?
Yep.
Actually, I can go to subscribers. Here we go. It's right here. Really interesting.
Nathan,
okay,
you need
cool.
to subscribe to our YouTube channel now.
Here, look, boom. Look at that.
Nice.
All right. What else can you teach us about growth? YouTube, content, you have a podcast. A lot of people get frustrated trying to launch a podcast. They say, Nathan, it's a B2B podcast. I'm getting no listens. How do I scale this thing?
Yeah, it's indeed a challenge. And we kind of paused. We did 3 seasons. And I mean, it's amazing for content generation and shorts. Shorts performing way better for us on YouTube than other types of content. But indeed, the distribution is challenging. So our focus right now is on finding a host that can actively, that already like relevant to our target audience, check all the boxes that we're looking, and also have an audience that it's relevant to us, and use that as collaborative like distribution effort.
Yeah. We've learned a lot here in the last 15, 20 minutes here, Vova. Congratulations on what you built, bootstrapped and profitable. If people want to learn more about you online, where can they find you?
Yeah, I'm all over the place. LinkedIn, X, Blue Sky, you name it, I'm there. So feel free to reach out. I'm very, happy to hop on a call and discuss about, how to make money in SaaS.
So guys, you might think that Stripe being a multi-hundred billion, if not trillion-dollar company soon, there's no room for anyone else to be in sort of the, let me help you with payment space. But Vova and Freemius is proving there is another way. He launched Freemius 10 years ago, specifically focused on the WordPress ecosystem. Now he's focused on helping anyone selling software or small businesses that need to sell online, do it effectively and efficiently, right? Whether it's payments, tax, subscription management, and more, they handle it all so you can focus on building your business. They're doing between 10 and 100 million of GMV across over 2,000 products that use their system to sort of sell. Some of those products are as small as $100. Some are tens, if not hundreds of thousands per product sale. So watch them closely. They're profitable and bootstrapped. Vova, thank you for taking us to the top.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.